Welcome back to the daily grind. Welcome back to the daily grind. That was a very poor
There we go.
rendition of the Imperial March from Star Wars. Welcome to the daily grind. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy
Yeah.
Friday. Happy Friday to my Uncle Buck. How are you, brother? Thank you for
Ma-
hopping on with me again this week.
Hey man, you just light the bat signal and I'm here. It's
Yes,
it's a good day. Any Friday's a good day.
that's
But
true.
today especially, it's pretty outside. I'm gonna go watch a baseball game in Oxford tonight.
Are you
That's the
really?
plan anyways. And so yeah, we're all systems go. Just gonna kinda take it easy till 5.
Oh, dude, I love that. Yeah, I keep looking. I'm like, is it really a work day? Is it really? It's been a weird week. I'm grateful for it to be over. But I bet who's not grateful that it's over because he's been having one hell of a week is Mike Miller. I'm getting better with these
Oh
segues.
yeah.
I got to do better. I got to do better. But that one was okay.
Hey, that was fun.
It
If you
was
listen to the
fine.
$2 sports show today, I can promise you the segues are very poor.
Hey,
Despite
be
what
kind to
Rusty
yourself.
says, he's
Despite
trying.
what Rusty says.
Yeah.
Well, that was the big news, I would say, coming out of the Grizzlies camp. Grizzlies camp. Coming out of Ja Morant's camp this week. The fact that Ja, who had recently left his old agency,
Right.
chose a new agent, won Memphis's own Mike Miller. What did you see? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Thoughts on Mike Miller in general? Thoughts on him picking him as a representative to represent him?
Yeah. Well, to take it back from the start, is it seems like it was kind of out of left field.
Yeah.
Ja's agency, you assume. I mean, this is his agent out of college, so you would assume this agency had negotiated all of these Nike deals. The now defunct Powerade deal, everything that Ja's been marketed and kind of all of endorsements. And all has been done by this agent. Seems like he'd been done a really good job. He got of course his play helps, but he got a max deal. You can't really say that. I wouldn't think from our vantage point, like probably did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
And just to be, if I was his agent, I mean, can you imagine how upset you are? Like, I get you through this tragic 2023. You've come to the end of the season in which you've started with a 25-game suspension, played 9 games, then have shoulder surgery, and you're out, and your brand is probably at an all-time low, but I've stuck with you through it. And he was just like, peace,
Deuces.
Yeah. But I mean, as a Grizzlies fan, I was terrified. He's an A-list celebrity at this point, and it seems like all these guys, all your rappers, all your athletes, everybody wants to go to Clutch. You let Rich Paul handle everything for you, and that was terrifying for a lot of Grizzlies fans. Ja's a small town guy. You feel like he's made for Memphis, but then if you have somebody like Rich Paul, you want to get in a big city is what you feel like. And so for him to land with Mike Miller, who is Memphis, as much as anybody who was not born there, Mike Miller is Memphis. So yeah, it's a huge success. And so now it's just kind of like, Zach Kleiman needs to just cultivate that relationship, continue to cultivate that relationship,
keep it going,
and keep Mike Miller in his good graces. Because I don't know if you've looked at his roster list, but it is impressive. He's got Paolo Banchero.
I knew he had Paolo.
This Lyft Sports Management, his first client with Lyft was Paolo. And so, but they've got Wendell Carter, Cheryl Swoops. They're going through the WNBA now. Paolo, PJ Washington.
These are all guys that I like. All guys that feel like Memphis dudes, which like they're grinders. They're not dudes that are going to demand a lot of superstardom, and they seem primarily there to hoop.
Right. Robert Williams, if you're talking about a center, if you want to try to buy low on a Robert Williams kind of contract, he's with the same agency that Ja's with now. And so cultivate those relationships. He's also Matthew Hurt. So maybe we get Matthew Hurt on a really, really long contract. We all want to see more Matthew Hurt, right?
He's with Tyus Jones too, right? Is Tyus with him?
Trey is with him.
Trey's with him. Either way, I like Trey. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just it seems like Mike Miller seems like he's doing his homework when it comes to he's picking his people. And
right,
I'm with you. I was terrified that I was going to get an update where it was like Clutch, Ja going to Clutch. It's like, man, that's the last thing. It's the last thing Ja needs. Right. I wanted as a fan. And
just more celebrity,
Yes. And Mike Miller was always about hooping. He was always a hooper, like always wanted to hoop. It was about hooping.
Right.
When he was coaching, it was about hooping. It's just like, I'm very excited to just see Ja get an agency that not only is like a hometown, like a homegrown, but also who just seems ready to cut out distractions. And so his old agent who did get all the Nike stuff and kept it going. I mean, I got 6 pairs of Ja ones, and a lot of those were bought this past year when he was doing bad. You know, it's like he was doing a good job, but I mean, if Mike Miller's going to cut out distractions, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and you never know what goes on behind closed doors. I'm sure there was a quite a bit of riff. There had to be some hard conversations had between Ja and his agent and the front office and Nike. I mean, there was a rough year, 2023, for that camp. And so you imagine that there was a lot of friction at one point. And so maybe it was just time for a fresh start, and Ja was just ready to turn the page and get a fresh set of eyes on him and his likeness. And if that's the case, I love Mike Miller. Everybody loves Mike Miller. I mean, he's from Memphis. Now, don't get it twisted. Mike Miller's going to look out for Ja first. He's not looking out for the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
But I do think that all things considered, I think that Mike understands and appreciates what Memphis is and how they could benefit Ja.
Yeah, 100%. And him having Paolo too, it's like these are 2 pretty big superstars that are now he can say are his. And we're just going to touch on him real quick. Paolo made a name for himself. I mean, Paolo showed out last night, in a series that I keep forgetting is around. It's good to see, and Wendell Carter, it's good to see 2 dudes, not flounder on the big stage, because I anticipate Ja being on the big stage. I anticipate the Grizzlies being on a big stage for like a long time. And I hope that Mike Miller seems ready for that. He won 6th man of the year. He's used to this kind of stuff. I'm just excited. It's exciting to see. I'm also a sucker for any of these old Memphis legends getting recognition, like seeing Connolly out there hooping, seeing Mike Miller get some reference. I just love it. I love it.
I told Buckets, we recorded our show that comes out today at 3:00 on Bluff City Media. We recorded Wednesday night. And so I told him, I predicted that the Lakers and the Magic, all the 0-2 teams that played, I expected them to get a win. The game 3 is the easiest game to win at home.
Yes.
If you're the lower seeded team. So I projected Philly to win. I projected Orlando and the Lakers. I went 2 and 1. The Lakers are done. The Lakers are done.
Man, I think Denver would play them. I think Denver, it's at the top of their list of things to do is to never lose to the Lakers.
It's an impressive streak at this point, because I know the Lakers went 0-4 against Denver in the regular season. They went 0-4 in the playoffs last year. So you're looking at right now 11 straight losses to Denver and probably 12.
Yep.
So, and thoughts and prayers to Joel Embiid. Scored 50 last night despite having a bout with Bell's palsy.
Yeah, man, like crazy.
That's a wild story. Little backstory. Like before I met my wife, she had a bout with Bell's palsy.
Oh shit.
And so, I mean, it's terrifying stuff. Can't drink out of a straw. You could tell just by looking at him. I was like, yeah, that's the signs. He wasn't blinking and stuff like that on one eye. And I told my wife today, I was like, Joel Embiid dropped 50 with it. What's your excuse? She threw a skillet at me. So.
That's funny. What's your excuse? Shout out to your wife. I bet she's a good woman. She's a lovely lady.
She puts up with way too much.
We're gonna take a break on that note. When we get back, we're gonna talk about the draft, because I'm a happy camper after what my Bears did. We're gonna talk about that right after this quick break.
Not just the level of individual talent that he plays with, but it's also the level of his mind. We haven't gotten cross-court open shot this year. Right. We haven't seen that pass a lot. Number one, you got to respect him going to the basket. There's a roller. I got to watch the roller. He has the mind to be able to say, I see all of that, but now I see this guy over here. I'm going to get him this open shot. How shifty he is to always be going forward. It's usually side to side.
Yeah.
His dribble moves are side to side, but going forward.
Right.
Which is very hard to defend. I just want to get you, as many times can I get you to do this? But for him, it's not here. It is here, which is are his moves to get down the floor. It's awkward for a defender to try to catch a cadence. You dribble. So now what I do is now when you go put that ball down, I'm going for it. But with him, it's hard for my cadence. But what's my cadence for you? I don't know what it is.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Who do you need to step it up? Outside of David Jones, I think David Jones is David Jones.
I don't think you need him to step it up because he's been performing.
Yeah, like he's David Jones. Like outside of him, he's fine.
I think Quinterly needs to play better.
In what way? Like, I mean, he's facilitating the ball well. I mean, what do you like? I don't.
2 at 12 from the field's not cutting it.
It's not great. It's not great.
And I don't need a runner 3 from the top of the key with 3.5 seconds left.
Is Virginia the game where Jordan Brown is going to cook? Those dudes aren't looking to run the ball.
Cook what? Dude, I thought he was going to have a freaking night. He came out with that fresh cut, lined up, and then literally within the first 15 seconds missed a wide open layup. And then picked up 2 fouls right away.
I feel real lied to because I thought we were getting a 20 and 10 guy.
Didn't think it did anything for you.
Well, I
think we all thought we were getting a 20 and 10 guy. And we are getting that in David Jones.
I'm not even getting 20 or 10 minutes out of the guy.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. If this is your first time joining us, you can catch our show. You can catch the $2 Sports Show. You can catch Tigers Untapped. You can catch all of those over at bluffcitymedia.co. Don't put an M on it. It's just .co. It's important.
Yeah, it really thrown me for a loop when I first started. When we first started Bluff City Media. I don't even know what CO stands for.
I don't either. I'm not going to ask. I think it's Colorado, but okay. I'm scared. I'm scared to ask. But anyway, back to the show. Normally we would talk about the playoffs right now, but rather than that, we're going to talk about the NFL draft because bear down, Chicago Bears, we will play our way to victory. We had quite possibly the best draft of my lifetime, and I'm happy. You know, I feel like Godfather 3 when they're like, I'd given up on the Bears. I'd been burned a lot, and just when they pull me back in. That's my
yeah. You take everything in stride though, don't you? You always, you know. I mean, I grew up an Ole Miss fan, and it seems like our most hopeful times was when it hurt the most, when it got ripped away from us. And and the Bears are the same way. I mean, I'm not a Bears fan. I'm a Saints fan. More casual now than in the past. You know, I've had a real struggle getting behind a team that didn't have Drew Brees and Sean Payton and all the guys that I grew up loving, you know.
That run though, man, that run in the
it was great.
And
you're talking about heartbreaking. In the NFC Championship, every year it got stolen from us, you know.
It really did.
It did. So you always hate to be. It's one of my bits that I like. You always hate to be on the losing end of a game that's remembered with a name. You know, like the Minneapolis Miracle. Like I was on the wrong end of that. Ole Miss football. 4th and 25. It's like I was on the wrong end of that.
Man.
Alabama fans are on the wrong end of, you know, the kick 6 or all these the games with the names. You don't want to be on the wrong side of it, and I feel like I'm not on the right side of any of them.
Nah, I feel like I feel like normally on those games I'm sitting on the sidelines next to Jay Cutler, who's got like a cigarette in his mouth, just like
here we go again, son. It's like I just pat my son on the back and just be like, it doesn't get any better.
It's like just when you see the daylight, it's a lot like football. Like just when you're like, oh man, there it is. Yeah. I can see the promised land. You're gonna get like sideswiped by Vontaze Burfict or something. You just got to get used to it. It's like football. You're a Saints fan. Who did the Saints take yesterday?
They went boring, which I feel like most of the time successful NFL drafting is when you go boring in the top in the first round. You know, you get your offensive line, your defensive line, the important positions that nobody knows the names of the people. They went offensive line. A Samoan guy from Oregon State. Yeah.
They're with like
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna try to say his name.
No,
There were like there are 2 or 3 of them that
Right.
that were like went in the mid-teens or something.
Right. If you want a good offensive lineman or defensive lineman, go get a guy with the Samoan name. That's what I believe.
It's true. It's very true. They're big.
They're just built. They're built different. They're huge
Yes.
people.
I know a lot of Titans fans in my life that are upset.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, for the Bears, I think I'll just echo. There's nothing more exciting than having 2 top 10 picks and going and getting quarterback receiver. Like
And
that's just a
good
fun
ones.
draft. Yeah.
That want to play together. Like these dudes
Right.
seem to like it. And I'm just Adunze, I hope I'm saying your name. Roman, if
that's
you're
right.
watching the show, I tweeted at you yesterday. You're my new favorite Grizzly. You're my new favorite wide receiver. He gets up there and just starts talking. And anytime the dudes are like super well spoken and
Right.
like polite and just nice, really seem like nice dudes on top of being stellar athletes, I just feel like they're good at I just feel like they're studies. They're like students of the game.
Right.
And I feel like those dudes are very astute. And I'm going to get his jersey as soon as I can because I just feel like between that, Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, God, I'm getting excited talking about it.
There is no excuse
None.
for the Bears not to be explosive. If Caleb Williams is what he's built, and there's no reason right now to think he's not. Yes. Caleb Williams his cons were never football related. It's his personality. Like
he's a weirdo.
As a leader of just brute individuals, like can he relate with an offensive lineman that dips a can of snuff a day and drinks 17 beers after practice?
Yep.
So, yeah, I thought it was a home run. I mean, there's not the NFL draft, and just like the NBA draft, for teams that are at the top of the draft, it's either like better days are ahead. You make the right pick. And then Chicago fans are excited until Labor Day when it comes here, and you just go see what you've got.
Yeah.
Firstly, you've got Falcons fans who, after signing 4 years, $160 million, go draft a quarterback with their first pick, and so
an older quarterback.
Oh yeah, I saw a stat. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. It's not really a stat as much as it is just a cute little note. So Michael Penix Jr. is older than Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson.
We've been on the team for a hot minute.
The last 3 first-round picks they've got, Michael Penix Jr. is older. And I am a Penix fan.
Yes.
I loved him at Washington. I love a guy that can take a beat and just feels like a warrior. Like, that's what I want. I'm a diehard Rebel. Matt Corral is one of my favorite players of all time because he was a guy that would just go out there and try his best to truck a linebacker, get up, flex, and you could tell the other 10 people on the field with him were there to pick him up. Like, that's the leader I like, and that's what Penix is. And he's got a cannon. I just hope that he gets to play. Dude. I hope he gets to play in the next 4 years.
Well, yeah, and they just told Cousins about it like while they were on the clock with the pick. It's like, ooh, y'all.
I've seen a lot of defending it today, and there's some logic there, but doing the whole Aaron Rodgers Love comparison, what they did bringing in Jordan Love with Aaron Rodgers going out, but that team was good, and
it's better than Love, I would argue.
Yeah. And a better prospect, but they also took Love like 30th.
Yeah, it was late.
But it's never going to feel right with me when both quarterbacks in this equation here are sort of skeptical at best. At worst, totally unhappy with the pick.
Yep. I've always thought that Arthur Blank looks like he's the most Batman villain looking of all the NFL owners. You see him and you're like, bro. It's like, man, I bet you've got one of those chairs that automatically goes like a rotating chair.
There's definitely a few Donald Sterlings left in the NFL ownership.
Yep, and he seems like one of them. I don't know him personally.
NBA owners have gotten a lot younger.
Yes.
Case in point, the Grizzlies. Got one of the youngest
34?
owners. Yeah. And I mean, he's been in an ownership group with the Grizzlies for a decade now, 15 years.
Yep.
And So the NFL just hasn't gotten there yet. I mean, they finally got rid of Dan Snyder, but guys like Arthur Blank, guys like David Tepper at Carolina, it's like they're all just they're just old rich dudes who have a football team as a hobby.
Or, I mean, the Grizzlies are owned by a 99-year-old lady. God love Virginia McCaskey, but like
who?
Virginia McCaskey, the woman that owns the Bears, she's like 97. She's literally like 97 or 99 years old, and it's like, does she have a cell phone?
I root for the Saints, and they're run by the widow of I can't remember his name here, but his widow.
Though, that's intense.
Yeah, I mean, she owns the Saints, she owns the Pelicans. I mean, all of them. I can't remember her name. Forgive me, but yeah, I just want somebody with new blood, somebody that
same.
I feel like all these old people are just worried about return on investment, and that's the reason why you can't own a sports franchise and worry about making money, because the fans just want you to spend money so they can win.
Yep, very well said.
That's what I love about the Grizzlies owner, Robert Pera.
He's the man, dude. Yeah, he's like, if every owner, I wish every owner of the teams I liked were like him, because that dude, he gets it. I love watching him. I wish he talked more in terms of like press conferences, because I could listen to that man talk about the Grizzlies forever. I think he's a smart dude.
I do respect it though, because he does get out of the way. Like, if I've got to have it one way or the other, you've got to have Jerry Jones, or you've got to have some aloof owner that just lets you do what you're supposed to be doing. Give me our owner, not the hands-on owner.
Jerry's crazy.
I guess you saw there was a restaurant in Charlotte that had a sign out that said, on draft night, said, please let the GM and coach make the pick. And then the owner, David Tepper, walked into the establishment to ask why, like, I guess had beef with the guy. That's kind of the point. Like, you own the team. It's your team. We get that.
We get it.
But just because you have possession of something, I have possession of a 2019 Honda Odyssey. That does not mean I'm the best person to go and, remove the engine,
I don't know, man. I think you're who I have in my Odyssey Rolodex for engine removal.
Everybody needs a Honda Odyssey. Let's
hey, Hondas are dope.
We rolling 6 deep here. We got a van with sliding doors.
Rolling 6 deep, man, with sliding doors. I love vans. Shout out vans.
Practical.
They are practical. You're going to take one more break, and then after that, I want to hear what you're doing on the weekend. We're going to have the weekend outlook right after one more break.
I'm just big on being able to vocalize what someone's role is. I always thought my best coaches were the people that let me know exactly what you expect from me. Now, I might not like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But if you come to me man to man to say, this is how we think we're gonna play you. Bang, 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 and hopefully everybody understand. I'm not saying that this has not been done with this team. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying from my experience, we all have egos when we get to this game.
Right.
All of us, to the last person on the bench, you got an ego, but all of us can't be the man.
Yeah.
You got to be able to say, okay, he's the man, but what do I do and what can I do to help us be good? And if it's vocalized to you, then you know exactly and if I'm out there doing it and now I'm not getting the result from you, now we got to sit down and have another conversation. Mm-hmm. But as long as it is told to you, this is what we expect from you, this is how we want you to play, then I feel like, again, keeping this logo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. All right, Christian.
Yes.
You are Penny Hardaway.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Today, you're going to play act, okay? Gabe, because you're a Jordan Brown apologist, you're going to be Jordan Brown.
I'm a Jordan Brown apologist. Okay.
Okay.
I'll take that.
Y'all are sitting across the room from each other.
I said, don't tweet him hate. And he's like, you're an apologist. Like, good God. But either way, continue. We're in a room together.
Why did things break down?
Jordan, we brought you in this year to be the centerpiece of our offense. You came in out of shape. Let's call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. We play fast. Told you this when we were recruiting you. We play fast. One of the fastest paces in the country. You have to be able to get up and down the floor. you have failed at that.
Oh, well, I'm leaving. So it's fine. Cool.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
We're back to the daily grind. We're back. Welcome back. This is the third part of the show where we talk about our weekends because it's the weekend outlook. I don't know why I'm talking like Sean Connery, but I imagine Sean Connery will be here one day to enjoy this segment with me.
If not, I mean, you get SNL Sean Connery maybe.
That's true. I'll just put out like a Craigslist ad, be like looking for Sean Connery. See what emails I get. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
What are you doing this weekend? Anything fun?
Man, I'm going to go to an Ole Miss baseball game tonight. We're season ticket holders. The team has been absolutely atrocious. We lost 12-0 last night at home to one Alabama. I mean,
that's atrocious.
Yeah, that's atrocious is a good word. We'll just leave it at that. I'm going to go today because it's pretty, and I still believe that baseball is the ultimate take your kids to the ball game sport.
Yeah.
And especially at a college atmosphere where it's like Major League Baseball is great. It's outside. It's beautiful weather. You take that and you just put it in a smaller, more intimate setting. You just can't beat it. There's a playground right around the corner. So it's like, all right, just go run, feel safe with the kids. And so we're going to go catch a game tonight.
Yes.
And tomorrow I hope to do a lot of nothing, or at least, recharge the batteries a little bit. My old knees are just now getting back to normal after crawling around on them all weekend, building a deck last Saturday.
Building a new deck, yeah.
Yeah. So my wife put our 2-year-old in a beauty pageant, and that's a sore subject. So I may have to do that tomorrow.
That sounds fun.
Really?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I tell you, I've told my wife, and she's finally admitted it. These are for her, not for the kids.
Yeah.
And so she's finally admitted it that she has fun. I'm like, okay, that's fun, but I'll tell you this right now because I'm a practical man who has 2 daughters who I'm very protective of. The first time they leave a beauty pageant, thinking that they are less beautiful than they are because they don't rank how they want to, we're done.
We're done.
Done.
I love it.
I will not have that talk in my. So
I love it.
But my 2-year-old, God bless her name's Jenny. She's just the most.
She sounds precious.
She's like a bowling ball of butcher knives around this house, but she's beautiful. God. Yeah. And so she has wanted nothing more all week long than to put on that dress and just twirl in circles around the house. So yeah, I'll melt. And so, but we'll do that tomorrow. And, the rest of the weekend, Sunday, recharge the batteries. Saturday night, watch some basketball, watch some baseball, whatever we got to do. Just recharge the batteries a little bit.
I'm jealous because me and my partner, we have a 13-year-old, and so he's been with his dad all week, but we get him this week. So after a week of her and I just quiet for ourselves, we get him coming back home this weekend, and he's having a sleepover. So there's going to be 3 13-year-olds in the house. And I don't know, 13-year-olds, they might be like the nastiest thing ever. They're just gross. They all stink. They they fart and burp, and it's like, y'all, it's not a contest. Everybody does it. And everything's sticky. I'm like, what is this? What are we doing? And I'm not looking forward to it.
My oldest is 9, but I remember what I was like at 13, and you get a whole bunch of them together. I don't know how when obviously you guys split weeks or whatever. The 13-year-old birthday party should have been at the other house.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, whoa, what was?
Yeah, hey.
I was like, what's going on? How did we get this? I could have made something up this weekend that I had to do so we could swap weeks. Like, what's going on? I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. I've got my glasses. No contacts this week. I'm going to be like, why are we gross? Why are these sticky? Who grabbed these?
Yeah.
So I hope you recharge. I hope you have a good recharge weekend.
Yeah. I hope you stay clean.
We'll find out Monday. That's going to do it for the Daily Grind. Thank you for joining us on Friday. Have a good weekend, everybody. Have a good weekend, Uncle Buck.
Yes, sir. You too.
I will see you Monday, hopefully.
Everybody else. Here.
Yes. Everybody else, remember 2 things. Stay weird and smile. I will see you on Monday.